Hey, this is ThinkerThunker. You've probably seen this before, but I was able to get a really good stabilize on this. If you haven't seen it, this is the swamp. There's the swamp water. This is something that appears large and black and furry, and it's sitting down with its back to us, or hunched over with its back to us, digging in this old cypress tree. And see that come up over its left shoulder? Here, let me zoom in a little on that. See that pop up right there? A lot of people think it has a child with it out there. It's preoccupied with some infant, which I'm sure a lot of parents can identify with, and that would explain why it let somebody sneak up on it for a minute or two and shoot a little footage. And if we look, here, I'll zoom in just a little bit more. Is that too much? There, now we can really see that black shape right there popping up. And if we keep going with that, it looks like, here I'm going to scroll down just a little. It looks like that shape right there. Kind of looks like it goes up in the tree. And now watch. Watch this right here. It looks like, see, that looks like a little mouth, little head and mouth, and it looks like they're playing now. See that? And something else people think, see this white spot here? Skeptics believe that's the price tag on the monkey suit. So let's just take another good look at this thing. Here we go. Okay, so let me just handle the price tag on the monkey suit theory. There it is right there. Now, as fancy a theory as that is, watch when it stands up. Boom, price tag vanishes. So we see the sun's coming in from the left. That could be shiny fur. I didn't say it was fake fur or wasn't fake fur, but price tag theory, dead and dumb. Okay, now as for there being a child there with it, a lot of people see an infant in this black spot over here. I think that's just a burn spot, dark spot on the tree. It never moves. But watch what we were saying might be some small, infant up there in the knot, the hull of that tree. That looks more like, to me, it is finding some soft wood in there. It might have termites. There could be fungus on that or something. I mean, it's I don't believe cypress tree could be even emergency food for human, but that might not be a human, because to me that looks like something is ripping in that tree, trying to get down to that white, whatever it is, and is eating. As for this big shape here popping up over its left shoulder, as for that being a child, okay, I'm going to zoom in a little now, and I'm going to just rock back and forth. Something is definitely popping up. As for that popping up and possibly being a child climbing on its shoulder, watch this area right here. I would say that's its left arm. And this big mass here, that, to me, I see a massive black arm reaching up into the knot of that tree, and you can hear it literally ripping out, and we see it rip out something. It looks like the size of a 2x4. So if that is a guy in a monkey suit, man, he's don't mess with him. He's got a strong rip. Now this looks like more feeding here, and if you watch here to the right, you see it chunk something like, nah, it's no good. And then you will see it stand up, reach in there, rip out a chunk, and you can see those arms. Now that's a pretty stout looking person, and it appears you can see pointy head there, like the crest. and no neck whatsoever. Could a suit do that? Sure. I'm just pointing things out. And so it rips something out, sits back down, and brings it up to its mouth. See that? Let me come a little closer. And that sure looks like it's feeding on something. So who could tell us, who could weigh in on this? What expert, like a botanist or a horticulturist, what might be in that tree that is so delicious to this guy? Because that looks like me at Thanksgiving, or really just pretty much any day, like me throwing down on some sushi. Maybe there's some mineral in there. Maybe, maybe this is not an everyday thing. It's deficient in some mineral and found it in there and is, stocking up. Again, somebody weigh in on that. What could it be chowing down on there? As far as this being a hoax, who would think, man, I am going to head out to a swamp and in my new monkey suit, and I'm going to find an old cypress tree, and I'm going to be sitting there ripping into it, pulling out huge chunks of wood like I'm gnawing on it. Because then people are going to believe that this is real and not a hoax. That just doesn't make sense. And then who would have the strength to do that? Who would have the strength to pull out big chunks of wood like it's doing? Do you see the lengths people have to go to believe these are hoaxes? I mean, they just have to get crazy elaborate with the price tag and the ripping out wood. And, at a certain point, it becomes utterly ridiculous trying to make this into a hoax. But here's the part, looking up here, where it looks like it's a little critter in there. See it snapping? But if you look at that shoulder muscle. And by the way, that's a honking shoulder muscle. That's a big shoulder. This works in direct conjunction with that shoulder blade. What I think that is a super long arm reaching all the way up into that tree, and that is its hand bringing down that white meat, whatever it is, out of the tree and chomping on it. Now, here's probably the most fascinating part to this whole thing to me. That is a bald cypress that he's digging in there, and those things get massive. Here is one that is 130 feet tall. That's 13-story building, and they grow to up to 10 foot wide. And you could say that tree is 3 guys wide. And the thing is, we don't know how far he was standing out in front of that tree. That could be 20, 30, 40 feet. It's hard to gauge. So bald cypress trees, when they're mature, are enormous. So what if our cypress tree here was 3 guys wide? That would mean the man in the monkey suit is a giant. So now let's be conservative and say our cypress tree is only 2 guys wide. That would still mean man in a monkey suit back there is still a giant. Even if our mature-looking cypress tree here is only about 1 dude wide, I mean, still look at the difference. Look at his shape, look at his hip width versus this. Now, I realize pads can bulk somebody up, but pads don't make you to where you could rip out the insides of trees, big 2x4 size handfuls. Pads just don't do that. And why would one mature cypress tree be so small, whereas another one would be so gigantically large? Again, a bald cypress is a bald cypress. They're going to follow similar growth patterns. And this one could be, yes, extraordinarily, exceptionally large. But I'm betting our cypress here is more 2 guys wide or better. And we've got a giant on our hands. I mean, look at the size of that head versus these, if that was true, if one mature cypress follows the same growth patterns as another. That's what would determine this. Again, you Florida swamp cypress experts, weigh in. How big could that tree be? That really is the question. And even if you told me, no, that tree is, its width, its probable size, probably makes our man in a monkey suit only about 6 foot tall, and he's ripping out huge chunks of wood because it's rotten in there. I suppose all of that could be. But again, a lot of things had to align to pull off this hoax. Okay, so that is all I've got. Thanks to dudes out in front of cypress trees for help giving us a little perspective here. And special thanks to the guy that shot our video. I'm going to put a link down below. Please go watch the original. Give the guy a subscribe and a like for posting this and sharing this with us all. I really appreciate that. And huge thanks to my patrons over at patreon.com. Now, I now have over 300 there, and those guys make any and all new videos possible. Thank you so very much. Please like and share my videos online with your friends. All of that helps too. And please keep the comments clean. Try to discuss. If you're here just to attack, quit trolling. Get out of here. I mean, you don't have much to say, do you? If you can't just logically, rationally discuss this. All right, everybody. Take care.